bit more before we call you up. Okay, Walt? I wanted to actually read the application letter that I wrote because I think it's better to actually read it than to sort of do the public speaking. So this is what I wrote in the application. It says, "It is with great pleasure that I nominate Walt Daniels for the Hometown Hero Award. Walt has exhibited numerous examples of community involvement and community leadership over the past 40 years, and he continues to be active and civically engaged to this day. I have known Walt for about 5 years in that time, and I have observed him in leadership positions in many roles. As a Canby City Councilor, a CTV5 board member, Canby Historical Society member, Ford Foundation Leadership Class participant, a strong library advocate, a Transit Advisory Board committee member, or board member, and currently the Canby Utility Board member. And I also witnessed him build a tiny little free library outside he and Virginia's home a few years ago to better serve their neighborhood with a little book exchange. When I attended my first city council meeting about 5 years ago, I perceived that Walt was a fair and rational counselor. He had a calming effect on the council, and his easy confidence and deep knowledge of the city were apparent. It felt comforting as a citizen knowing that Walt was representing the city and our interests. I've gotten to know Walt personally, too, first through my interactions with him during the Ford Foundation Leadership Class in 2012, and then as kind of an adopted mentor when I first became a city councilor. And these past 3 years, I've seen him regularly at the Transit Advisory Committee board meetings. I've chatted with Walt outside of our city duties over the past few years, and I now consider him not only a mentor, but an inspiration and also a local hero. I was especially struck by his statesmanship after the impressive speeches he delivered during 2 recent city council meetings on the topic of parks funding. He was privy to a former parks master plan that perhaps none of us had ever seen. And it is this kind of passion and interest that he has in connecting the current leadership to Canby's more distant past that makes Walt such a valued citizen. He has continued to be attentive to the city activities and policy making since he retired as a councilor about 5 years ago. He used to regularly walk downtown to our old city hall and visit Amanda Zyber, our assistant city manager, to get updates on what was afoot in Canby, and he might still do so today, I'm not sure. He tells me that he watches nearly every city council meeting on CTV5. It is rare for a former city councilor to demonstrate such continued interest in the happenings of the city, and that is another quality that defines a hometown hero. I nominate him today because I believe it is time that Walt receives the recognition he deserves for being such an asset to the Canby community for the past 40 years. Walt is truly a model citizen. So thank you, Walt. Yes. And there are a few other folks, I believe, that would like to say a few words on Walt's behalf, people that have known him, that have worked with him. I don't have a formal process of who all wants to speak or in what order, but can I nominate Julie first? Thank you.
I'm going to read as well, and I don't have a lot to say, but on behalf of Kat, I want to thank Walt for his many years of community involvement and leadership. I'd like to thank him especially for his part in the process that inspired the Canby City Council and others to withdraw from the TriMet District and take responsibility for providing public transit service. Walt has been a faithful supporter of public transit and played a pivotal role in the withdrawal from TriMet in 2001. In 2007, when I came to work for CAT, I was the council president and liaison to the transit department. And since we first met, I've so appreciated his patience and his dedication to the citizens of Canby. Whether we're facing service expansions or service cuts, Walt has always been supportive and watched out for Canby. Today, local businesses pay almost 24% less payroll tax than businesses in the TriMet District for a service that was developed specifically for CAT. Walt is very knowledgeable and has always given me sound guidance. I was so pleased when he agreed to serve on the Transit Advisory Committee after he retired on the council. He leads by example and provides a calming and collaborative influence when personalities or viewpoints clash. Walt is one of the good guys. He has more than earned the Hometown Hero Award. It's been an honor to work with him over the years, and I hope that he will continue to serve on the CAT committee for a very long time. Thank you so much, Walt. Congratulations. It's about time. You truly deserve this.
And Rich Ayers, please.
Thank you. I had written several notes to talk about Walt, but you covered a lot of it. Mayor Hodson told me that he's going to read my letter to you into the record. So I'll summarize by saying that I served for just 3 years with Walt on the City Council, and I found him to be an extremely thoughtful, fair, honest, generous, quiet person, and a gentleman. Always a gentleman. You mentioned in your nomination letter, Tracy, about his activity in parks and the parks plan from years ago. There's a park in Northwoods Estates. It's a small park that Walt brought up meeting after meeting while I was on the council to get it finished, to get it equipped. And today, that park has a gazebo and children's play area and a place where the neighbors can run dogs and play Frisbee. That park wouldn't have happened without Walt Daniels. I'm hoping that the City Council will adopt a plan to name parks and other public entities in this community, because that park should be named Walt Daniels Park. The final thing I want to say is that hopefully most of us have a favorite uncle, someone that's generous, nurturing, friendly, helpful, and will do anything for you. What Canby is extremely fortunate to have a community favorite uncle, and that's Walt Daniels. Thank you.
Dan Murphy, would you like to say a few words? Thank you. Thank you.
I also would like to echo the words that's already been said about Walt Daniels. Yeah, what a good guy. You know, I'd like to congratulate both Walt and also the council for its excellent decision. You could not have picked a better person for the Hometown Hero Award. Yeah, after serving many years on the council, now Walt's still active here in the community, working for the betterment of Canby on the Canby Utility Board. No one at Canby Utility has more historical knowledge than Walt Daniels does. He's our go-to person for anything that has happened that we need to know the background for. You know, Walt knows about Canby's history, its progress, the challenges met, and I tell you, if the outcome was good, whatever the issue was, Walt was probably involved in some leadership role, working hard to help it happen. And we know that. Walt does that all the time on Canby Utilities Board as well. I hear our train, Walt. And he's presently serving his second term with Canby Utility. So on behalf of Canby Utility and all of us at Canby Utility, on the team at Canby Utility, congratulations to our hometown hero, Walt Daniels. Walt.
I didn't hear of anybody else in advance that wanted to say a few words. Okay, go ahead.
Luana Hill, did you want to come up? There she is.
Okay, thank you.
I actually would like to say a few words about Walt and then tell you a little bit about what's going on with Kiwanis. Walt is the first Walt was president, I believe, the first time I attended a Kiwanis meeting, to approach them for funding for Slice of Summer. How do things keep coming back to us? You know, we're going through that whole Slice of Summer thing again, but he was instrumental in having Kiwanis help fund Slice of Summer that year, and they have often been supporters of that. He's just been a wonderful member of that club. He was president twice in 1975 and in 2003, and he is also a recipient of our club's highest honor, the Hickson Award, for doing wonderful things as a Kiwanian. So we're really proud of him. The club keeps going on, and just to update you on what we're doing, wanted to thank you for the support on the facade improvement program at the thrift store. It is complete now, except for the fact that we did not expect, when we took the old sign down and put up the new one, we didn't expect that it would need to be repainted, and they put it up before we could do that. So that's on our to-do list. But other than that, we have a new handicapped accessible door. We have a new handicapped bathroom. It's lovely. You should check it out. And we also started this year with support from the library and the Library Foundation, the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, where we're providing free books to children from birth through age. When they turn 5, they age out. So for 5 years, though, they get a free book every month in the mail, and we are at 400 children registered for that program now. So that's going really well. We're also working with the city by adopting the Eco Park as a twice-a-year project to go clean it up and weed and rake leaves and find litter and things like that. And we just raked Waite Park this weekend. So thank you for letting us be involved in this community and giving us your support. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Before I read the letters here that were submitted as part of the nominating process, I do want to take a moment and recognize, I think, some key people from our community that I think can probably thank Walt for their for his leadership and his impact. Former Mayor Taylor is here. Thank you, sir, for being here. Appreciate it. Former city councilors Clint Coleman is here. Rich Ayers, who spoke. Thank you, Rich. And Robert Bitter is here. Former city manager Greg Ellis is here as well. So thank you all for coming and helping us recognize Walt and all that he has helped the city accomplish. The first letter that was submitted from former city councilor Rich Ayers. It says, this brief letter is in support of Mr. Walt Daniels for Hometown Hero Award. There are a lot of words that one could use to describe Mr. Walt Daniels: gentleman, volunteer extraordinaire, community supporter, thoughtful, considerate, contributor, tireless, friend, statesman, respectful, and many more. But there's one descriptive word that sums up Mr. Daniels' life in Canby, and that's leadership. While I could never begin to describe the total impact Mr. Daniels has had on his community, I can point out a few things I have firsthand knowledge of. For at least 3 decades, he had been a tireless leader and participant in the Canby Kiwanis Club, Canby City Council, Canby Utility Board, Canby Transit Board, Canby City Parks Advocate, supporter of the Canby Public Library, supporter of Canby Public Schools, and the list goes on. In my 20-plus years of working and living in Canby, I can think of no one that has contributed more to this community and has asked for nothing in return. But at least for me, he has earned more respect for his humanity and leadership than anyone I can think of in Canby. Truly, Walt Daniels is my hometown hero. Submitted by Rich Ayers. From John Drott. This letter is in support of the nomination of Walt Daniels for the City of Canby's Hometown Hero Award. When the qualifications for the award are considered, community involvement, community leadership, and noteworthy citizen actions, it seems the award was created specifically to recognize Walt Daniels as he ticks all of those boxes not once but countless times over decades of significant contributions to the community of Canby. Walt Daniels is a very good example of the sort of person every community needs to thrive: humble, vigilant, principled, hardworking, and always willing to give of his time and resources for the good of the community without regard to personal cost or personal gain. I have seen Walt in action in city council meetings, urban renewal meetings, and in the behind the scenes of helping with the annual Kiwanis toy and food basket distribution. His focus has always been that of what is in the best interest of Canby. His actions have always been performed with humility, without seeking any attention or congratulations for his contributions, which to me is an important characteristic of a hero. And so it is with some irony that I encourage the city of Canby to step up with a long overdue recognition of his good works. And that's from John Drott. From Don Smeebeck. I highly recommend that you consider Walt Daniels for the Hometown Hero Award for his unselfish contribution for the betterment of our city. Justification for this award: Walt Daniels served as a member of the Canby City Council for 25 years, from 1987 to 2012. He is now a member of the City Canby Area Transit Advisory Committee and presently is chairperson of that committee. I am sure that Walt has given more of his time to Canby than the majority of citizens of Canby. In closing, I'm hopeful that the city of Canby knows what an asset Walt Daniels was and still is to Canby. He is very deserving of the Hometown Hero Award. So, it is with my honor to present the Hometown Hero Award to Walt Daniels in recognition of your outstanding community involvement and community leadership as demonstrated over several decades of volunteer work and several local organizations, and for your 25 years on the City Council. For this and all you have contributed has resulted in positive benefits to the community and the improved welfare of the citizens of the City of Canby. With sincere thanks and appreciation from a most grateful and appreciative community. Thank you, Walt.
This is really a surprise. I really struggle for words. I had no idea. The reason why I came tonight was that last time I wanted to watch the meeting, when it came time to the vote, TV cut off. I said, darn it, I'm going to go down to the meeting tonight and watch the council meeting. I think this is a challenge for all of us. Just because you finish a term of office doesn't mean you should just get out in the woods. Use those talents that you have developed and skills and give them back to the city. 25 years on the council was real rewarding, but I thought it was time to step down after we had gone through a systematic planning. So I challenge all those who have been on the council before or anticipate that they want to step forward and take that leadership role. I never dreamed of getting an award for it. My satisfaction was giving my talent to the community, and this is what happened. Appreciate all of you turnout, and thank you very much. It's quite an honor.
So here's the plaque that is hanging up in City Hall, in case any of you have not seen it. And you'll notice that everyone else on this list has one space. Walt has two, because of all that you have contributed and all that you have done for this community. So thank you, Walt. And it is an absolute honor, and it has been a privilege to know you, and I appreciate all of you.
thinking the exact same thing.
Thank you, Greg. Just to let you know, two quick comments. First one is having myself been involved in the council now, and many of us up here can attest to, and I think those of us that have served in council roles know that we aren't able to do what we do without the love and support of our significant others and family members. And so, Virginia, thank you for letting Walt do what he does. You and the rest of the family are a big contributor to this recognition and what Canby is because of Walt's involvement, so thank you for that. We really appreciate it. Secondly, there are refreshments in the back. I have opened up the conference room here. If you want to go and have some refreshments and celebrate Walt for a little bit longer, you're more than welcome to do that. You can stay here and listen. We've got a couple of items on our agenda that will hopefully go pretty quickly, and then we'll join you shortly thereafter. But like I said, you're welcome to go into the conference room here to the right as you walk out. So thank you all very much for coming. Walt, congratulations, sir. Thank you. So we'll continue on the agenda here as people move out of the chambers. It's the first opportunity for citizen input and community announcements. I think we've pretty much taken care of that, and I have no yellow cards. We'll just move into mayor's business, which what I have can hold off until the next meeting. So nothing important that's pressing as of right now. So we'll move over to liaison reports. Councilor Smith?
Liaison report. City Planning Commission met last week, but we were asked not to attend, and so I did not.
Thank you, sir.
Follows instructions. Good report.
Councilor Parker?
I'd like the ability to be able to express virtue by doing nothing, so congratulations. I'd like to do that more. I've only got one thing, and that is in terms of our Main Street program, we do have our Light the Night coming up, and that's going to be the first Friday of December at Waite Park, and it's probably one of our most attended events, rain or shine, so
yes,
please show up.
Thank you for that.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I likewise don't have much of a report as my meetings are up and coming, but I do want one quick Main Street thing. I just want to thank Jamie and the crew, aka Minnie Mouse, for all her work with the Halloween event yesterday and all the little goblins that were running through town. It was a great day, and I wanted to thank her for her efforts. That concludes.
Yeah, it was a great turnout. There were a ton of kids downtown, and thanks to all the downtown businesses that were handing out candy left and right, and there was a lot handed out based on what I saw from my boys' trick-or-treat bags. And Mallory was out there at Gwen's coffee shop slinging candy as well. Council President Dale?
Likewise, Mr. Mayor, in the interest of getting to a party, it can keep.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, ditto. I've got quite a few interesting tidbits, but I'll wait 2 weeks.
Perfect, thank you.
I just have one quick thing, in addition to saying yes, thank you to all the businesses and everyone that supported the event last night. It was wonderful and the weather was great, and it was nice to see so many participants, both citizen and business. And then the other thing is, keep your calendars clear for Bridging Cultures, November 18th. 5 to 8 is the Thanksgiving celebration. I recall hearing that last year they did 12 turkeys, and I think that we can do more than that this year. So 5 to 8 at Baker Prairie on Saturday, November 18th is the Bridging Cultures Thanksgiving celebration, and everyone in the community is welcome to attend. But
Thank you for that. Great, we'll move into the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor, I move for approval of the minutes of the October 18th, 2017 City Council regular meeting.
And I will second.
Motion's been made by Council President Dale and seconded by Councilor Hensley to approve the consent agenda, which include the minutes of the October 18th, 2017 City Council regular meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That carries 6-0. We'll move into resolutions and ordinances. Kim?
We have one resolution tonight. It's Resolution 1273. This is to ratify the contract between the City of Canby and Local 350-6, AFSCME Council 75, AFL-CIO for the period from July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2020, and repealing Resolution 1196.
Great. Thank you, Kim. I'm going to turn it over to Amanda to present this.
Excellent. Thank you very much. As you know, we met with the city and the union met over a series of several months to bargain contract terms and conditions for a new contract that would be effective July 1st, 2017 and through June 30th of 2020. We have come to an agreement. The union has signed off, and so the contract is in front of you for approval tonight from the council. There is one change I wanted to point out. It's a housekeeping item, really. We realized this week that the articles were renumbered in the contract, and we inadvertently missed a reference, and it was in Article 17. It references another article, and we had it incorrectly numbered. So we made that change. The union's aware of that change, and the contract that you have in front of you has that change in it.
The contract that I have?
Yes.
That I'll be signing this evening?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And the union is signed off on the correction, and we're good to go?
Yes.
Okay. Any significant pieces in the contract that we should discuss or make aware?
The biggest change is a change of a healthcare provider and a slightly different health plan, which will be phasing in over the 3-year term of the contract.
Okay. Any questions for staff or clarifications, or anything other input?
Mayor, I think you can point out that we've had several meetings to go over this.
Yes,
so
thank you.
This is not just something we've seen for a few minutes tonight.
Yes, thank you, Councilor. To Councilor Parker's point, Amanda, we started this process how long ago?
Late in the spring.
So, yeah, so late spring, the contract comes up every 3 years. So it was that time for us to address this. Amanda and an attorney for us opened up negotiations and contract with AFSCME, which represents city staff. We did have, I think, 2 or 3 exec session meetings as a council to discuss one, what we wanted to try to achieve in strategy pieces, and then follow-up meetings after that to discuss, I think, our initial offers and then counter offers back, and then I think coming to a conclusion in a well-written and well put together contract. So this is not, as Councilor Parker's point, this is not something that just occurred in the last 2 weeks. This has been a long process to get to this point, and I think both sides equally on mutual footing, I think, based on the contract we have in front of us. So thank you for that. Any other questions?
I'm just thankful that we've reached an agreement. Well done,
Yep.
everybody.
Thank you, Amanda,
Yeah.
and thank you, our attorney.
Mr. Mayor, I'd just like to reiterate what you said. For any of the viewing public, there was lots of conversations behind the scenes about aspects of this, but this is what was agreed to be proposed and signed.
Right. Okay. No other questions? I'll take a motion to accept the resolution then.
Mr. Mayor, I move to get my microphone on. Mr. Mayor, I move for passage of Resolution 1273 to ratify the contract between the City of Canby and the Local 350-6 AFSCME Council 75 of the AFL-CIO for the period from July 1st, 2017 to June 30th, 2020, and repealing previous resolution number 1196.
Second.
We have a motion made by Council President Dale and a dual second by Councilor Hensley and Councilor Height to approve Resolution 1273, ratify the contract between the City of Canby and the Local 350-6 AFSCME AFSCME Council 75 AFL-CIO for the period from July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2020, and repealing Resolution number 1196. Any further discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That carries 6-0. Thank you all very much. Appreciate that. Amanda, thank you for your hard work on this. And Annie, thank you for bringing it to the finish line. Thank you. No new business right now. Assistant City Manager report?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
No? All right. Joe, anything?
No exec session, but happy All Saints Day, everyone.
Thank you.
Second opportunity for citizen input. Citizens wishing to input? No? Action review.
You have approved the consent agenda, and you've adopted Resolution 1273.
Great. Thank you. And Joe just stated there is no exec session. I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilor Hensley and seconded by Councilor Height to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, Canby. Good night.
Such a hurry.